Good afternoon. My name's Steve Marvel. This is Crucial Survival. I'm a survival and rescue specialist, and by popular demand, I'm going to review knives. And specifically, I'm going to review the Spyderco Manix 2 and the Spyderco Manix 2 XL. If you are interested in reviews and survival goodness, you will find me on Facebook and YouTube often. So do go and subscribe and all of the good stuff that you know about. And do comment your opinions on these two knives. And in fact, any knives that you consider that might be better than these two knives. But for what I use them for, so far, so good. So once upon a time, I was teaching outdoors for a very long time, and I was using fixed blade knife. And that's all well and good, but I just didn't need it. And it was bulky. And as I say, I wasn't using it. I was just wielding weight, which I didn't need. So after a few years of teaching, I thought, right, I'll get myself one of these. Nice folding knife. I did lots and lots of research, and I found this. This is the Spyderco Manix 2. It is made of 154 cm steel, but realistically, that's not what they're made of. It's the CPM S30V is what the XL is made of, and in fact, that's what all of the new Manix 2s are made of. So realistically, it should be a Manix 2A, I guess, but they're basically the same steel. Really, really good stainless steel. I say in terms of cleaning, I'm pretty clean when I use it, but I don't have to treat it or anything to stop rust. I don't get pits. I've got a really good edge. So let's start with what I used it for. I used this for shaving things, making holes and things and twisting and carving to a certain extent, and in fact splitting as well. Now I'm going to do a bit of a thing about this, but splitting is basically about wedging. Now most people will say, oh no, you cannot split with a pocket knife, a folding knife I should say, because you'll break the joint. And I say this to you, not only does the Spyderco Manix 2 and XL have the same bearing lock, which is super, super strong, but if you actually hit on this part rather than so straight down, you don't end up stressing the joint. So you can just use it like a wedge, just as if it was a fixed blade knife. And yes, it takes practice, but don't get too ambitious about what you need to split. Realistically, you're only splitting small stuff for lighting fires, say, and then the big stuff, you're just going to be whacking on the fire anyway. So yeah, there's a certain amount of expectations. So there I was with this. Something that was particularly appealing was this little lanyard hole. I know it's a small thing, but I was demonstrating quite a lot. I was going down to the ground, up, down, and I found that it would fall out of my pocket. And so I just stuck a lanyard on it, very nice knot. And I just put that on my belt or clip it to my belt or whatever it might be. And a lot of Spyderco knives, and in fact other knives, just don't have this. I bought another knife at a show, which was it was a very nice knife, but I just use it now, like not out in the woods. I use it in the garden. I use it in the home, if you like, because though it's a wonderful grip, it's got a bigger grip, and I'll come back to that. It's not safe enough. This clip, which they both have, is all well and good, but I found that on a belt clip, I just don't have the confidence that, and yes, you can put it on both sides, but I just don't have the confidence that that's not going to fall off when I'm going up and down and up and down, and I can't have it on my belt. I can't have it in a small pocket or my leg pocket without this level of confidence. And that's not the Spyderco thing. That's an any knife thing. So this is part 2 of the review. And the reason I bailed early is because I had a bit of a seizure scare, which I didn't have, but I went to hospital anyway, which is rubbish. If you are watching this on YouTube, this will be a non-live video, and it will be banged together, which is fun because I've just completely realized that I've forgotten to put the same shirt on that I did yesterday, so that there was continuity. So if you're on YouTube, that was weird. Change of shirt. So I bought the Manix 2, the smaller one, after working outdoors a lot. Didn't get on with a fixed blade knife, and I'd got one, and banged on a lanyard. Very nice knot. And that suits me fine. You can put it down, I can see it. You can, though I don't condone putting a knife down. You can see it, you can tie it around your belt, whatever you want, because I didn't like the clip. So why did I buy this one? Because they are quite expensive. I bought it because it's super, super robust. I bought it because the bearing is good. I don't know if you can hear that, actually. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But yeah, the bearing lock is really, really good. Now then, because of that, you get this wonderful sort of, let's see if we get this to focus. Wonderful, proud edge, and that all locks in place. Now, it does have this knurled bit, which people quite often put their thumb on. I'm going to talk about knife technique another day, but you absolutely must not use knives like that. Oh, this is the whole doing this by one-handed is really, really handy. But yeah, nobody should be using a knife like this. Yeah, should be using a knife like this. Yeah, because it's a stronger grip. This is wobbly. If you put an amount of, I'll do this another day, but if you put force and it shears, it can turn, which is obviously bad. So you should be using a knife like this. And this is why I didn't get on with this initially. It's possible with, but initially, and that's because of the size of my hands against this grip. I went over I say it's a small thing, but when you use it enough, it's a big thing. So this handle was just a bit too small, and the Manix 2 XL was not available at the time. And then the Manix 2 XL was, and I'm like, oh, hello, what's this all about? Now let's have a quick compare of the two. As to say, the steel nowadays is the same. The thickness of the blade is the same. The knurling pattern is the same. The bearing size is the same. So what is actually different? This, oh gosh, can you see that? This is the difference in the length of the body. And consequently, that is the difference in the length of the blade. Now, you might say to yourself, Steve, that's bugger all. But you know what? It blooming is. The beginning part of the grip is largely, I say they're using largely the same templates, but it's largely the same. Yeah. Even down to this part. It's so hard to hold. But it's got this extra bit on the end, which you'll see if I do it the right way around. God, it's difficult. This is little extra bit. You probably see there, just a little bit. And there you can see the length of the blade and the depth for that matter. And this is impossible to show you, but there's an ever so slight depth. It's like millimeters. But you know what? For my hands, now that's perfect, utterly perfect. I've got a superior grip now, a lot more comfortable. I'm not edging up towards the blade. I am behind this, which is great. There's no temptation to do this. This is ridiculous. Don't ever do this. This is way to hold a knife, and this is now super positive. This is pretty good, but this is like, this was a lot more different than I imagined. This is how you want to do these, by the way. This little. So, in a nutshell, is it worth the extra bit of money? Now, I have a 9-inch span. I have pianist fingers, though I can't play the piano anymore. And yes, the Manix 2, that was a good knife. I used it a great deal. I would even bang things and split, because it's only a bit of metal, just like any other splitting wedge. It's a bit of metal. You can bang on the top of it. As long as you're not trying to, like I said before, don't bang on the join. If you're just using it as a piece of metal, as a splitting wedge, then it's fine. And if you're shaving or making it lolls or whatever it might be, it's fine. I wouldn't try and carve a spoon with it, but I'm sure you could. So yeah, that is the Manix 2. Great knife. However, if you've got a span of like 9 inches, you've got big old hands, or if you've got rugby player hands, then Manix 2, it is such a good knife. If you look at the Manix range, and quite honestly, I think that Manix gear is largely for collectors now. This, you'll see, it's got a couple of features I like, other than being a great knife, is this hole is not proud. You'll find that some of these holes are proud of the blade, keeping the blade thin and to keep the knife light. That, I can imagine, sticking it in your pocket, that could potentially, because it's at a silly angle, I don't know, be difficult. It doesn't look good. I'd be funny, but when that hole is all proud and looking a bit bizarre, it doesn't look good for me. But yeah, this is clean, and Oh, someone's arrived. You've missed all the best bits. Yeah, it's clean, it's robust, and say the XL is just big for my hands, good and big with my 9-inch span. The Manix 2, if you've got 7-inch span, that is a great knife. I mean, that is a really, really good knife. And yeah, but definitely put a lanyard on it, and put an orange one on, because when you're doing stuff like just whittling, put things down, whittling, making pegs, putting it down, especially if it's dark, this is really, really important. And in fact, this has got that fleck in it that I did a video on the other day. So yeah, is it worth the extra money? The Manix 2 XL? Yes, absolutely. Is the Manix 2 a great knife? Yes, absolutely. What would I do if I were going to buy them again? I would have bought the big one. If that wasn't available, yes, I'd have shopped around a little bit, but chances are I'd end up on the Manix 2. I would love to know your opinion. I would especially like to know your opinion if you've got either or both of these and your comparison. And in fact, a comparison to any other knife that you have. Even if it's an Opinel or whatever it might be, because they have their places as well. I love them. You may not. Comments. And what else do you want me to review? Are there anything in particular? It doesn't have to be knives. If you are a manufacturer, please do send me stuff. That will be great. You can message me on Facebook. And yeah, I'll speak to you next time. And I say, it doesn't have to be knives, anything you want reviewing, just let me know. And I'll catch you later. Cheers then. Bye.